It was a screenshot of OT and some other girl's DMs.
Malika Hack and OT Genasis had a super toxic relationship. There were so many red flags about OT, but somehow Malika just didn't see any of them. Why? Well, let me explain. OT Genasis has been causing trouble since as early as 2010. Back then, he was arrested for 2 counts of theft and was sentenced to 15 days in the county jail and 36 months of probation. That very same year, he welcomed his son, who was diagnosed with autism. In an attempt to set things straight in his life and be there for his son, he went into music and created his whole OT persona. According to him, OT stands for overtime or out of town. And as for Genesis, well, it was created after the word Genesis, meaning new beginnings. But he didn't want to just go by Genesis because he didn't want religious people to come for him. After years of working hard and trying to make a name for himself, OT finally got his big break when he caught 50 Cent's attention and landed himself a deal. But not the type of deal you might think. Apparently, he only got signed to release a single song, and that was it. So his dreams of becoming a household name got thrown out really fast. Luckily for OT, not long after his deal with 50 Cent, he bumped into Busta Rhymes and got himself another deal. This time around for an entire album and then some more. When everything was signed and ready, he was given an advance to get the ball rolling. But instead of doing that, he decided to spend all the money on girls and partying. It wasn't until he got threatened by the label and almost dropped that he actually decided to focus on music. And that was when he released some of the best hits of his career. First, there was Coco, which peaked at number 5 on the hot R&B and hip-hop chart. He followed this song with another hit, Cut It. Even though OT was living the life he'd hoped and prayed for, things weren't exactly perfect. He got arrested once again. This time around, it happened at the Atlanta airport, and it was because he had a loaded firearm with him. And barely 6 months after this, he got arrested yet again for driving under the influence and reckless driving. He was placed under 36 months of probation, was enrolled in a 3-month first offender drinking program, in order to pay a little over $1,300 in restitution charges. Then, 10 months after getting himself into all of this drama, Malika came into the picture. Everyone first caught a glimpse of their relationship after OT showed up for an interview at the Breakfast Club and he had Malika by his side. At first, we all thought that it was going to be some kind of one-off because OT wasn't the type of guy to stay in a relationship for very long. However, as time went by, everyone realized that this wasn't the case. They seemed to be serious about each other. But barely 2 months after they announced their relationship, there was trouble in paradise. It was reported that OT and Malika had called it quits. After they deleted all traces of their relationship from their social media, they confirmed what everyone already knew. You'd think that with all of this, Malika would see the signs and just move on, but she didn't. However, it wasn't for a lack of trying. After her relationship with OT ended, she briefly got together with Rob Kardashian, even though Rob was in the middle of dealing with his toxic relationship with Blac Chyna, but things got serious enough between them for Malika to come online and call Rob out for not calling her anymore. She even professed her love for him. But get this, really soon after she called Rob out, she posted a video of herself and OT confirming that they had gotten back together right on time for Valentine's Day 2018. But by May, they were broken up again. In this time around, Malika decided to come online and say a thing or two about their relationship. According to her, love doesn't fail. It's people who do the actual failing. In her words, love can be one of the most beautiful things. But unfortunately, being vulnerable to one's choices can lead to heartbreak. Soon after this, it was discovered that OT had cheated on Malika, and that's why they broke up. According to a source close to them, even though OT was in a serious relationship with her, he was out all the time and staying in hotels. So you don't need to be a genius to figure out what he was up to. But get this, even with everything that he did, OT was still determined to win Malika back. He even wrote a public letter professing his love for her and talking about how pride doesn't let men do certain things. But he wanted everyone to know that he would do anything for Malika. She wasn't just his partner, she was also his best friend. And God told him to love her forever, and that was what he planned on doing. As expected, he and Malika got together once again, but they couldn't make their relationship last. By June 2019, they broke up again. This time around, they chalked up their breakup to the fact that they were both busy people and didn't have time for their relationship. However, less than 3 months after they went their separate ways, Malika announced that she was pregnant. Initially, she didn't want anyone to know who the baby daddy was and just wanted to focus on her pregnancy, and no one knew why. But when she finally revealed that OT was the father of her baby, it made a lot of sense why she kept it a secret to begin with. Now, even though Malika and OT weren't together anymore, she told Khloe Kardashian and her sister Khadijah that different women had been messaging her and showing her receipts of OT sliding into their DMs trying to get together with them. She responded to all of them by saying that OT wasn't her man, so whatever it was he was doing wasn't her problem. But she admitted that she was still hurt. She ended up breaking down in tears on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, explaining how she felt that her baby shower was about everyone else and not her. And during Khloe's confessional on the show, she explained that she believed that Malika's tears had something to do with OT. Now, get this. Although OT tried being there for Malika during the pregnancy, even attending every doctor's appointment with her, things changed after the baby was born. In an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Malika explained how he just wasn't involved in their son's life. And this went on for a long time, until Malika and OT found a middle ground that worked for both of them after OT apologized for not doing his best. As for the possibility of them ever getting back together, it seems to be slim to none. She has since been seen with other people. Sometime in 2021, Malika was spotted with Love Island star Johnny Middlebrooks, but their relationship ended almost as quickly as it started. And ever since then, she's been single, at least as far as we know. Maybe she's still trying to heal from what happened between her and OT, but that's just my theory. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on Malika and OT's relationship? Let me know in the comments below.